Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It is the 20th of November. We are 11 days away from December. Unbelievable. So, we seem to have had a bit of a range. So, overnight, it's pretty much gone sideways. So, we've got what looks like a breakout. So, I'm guessing probably going to push in. So, channel break. It's hard to say at the moment whether this is going to come down some more. We've made a measured move as well. Kind of hoping we trigger some shorts here and then push up. We'll see how we get on anyway. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? So let's have a look here. A leg and a leg. Now it could come down some more. A leg and a leg. But it's also a breakout of this and a measured leg. So it's hard to say at the moment. I don't want to get trapped short. Let's see how we get on. So that bearish bar hasn't triggered, and this one hasn't as yet. It looks pretty a bit congested, so we got a leg up. So it's hard to know at the moment. That's an inside bar. So FSEN, how you doing, buddy? So that bar is triggered now. Let's see if it does come down. See, there may have been some buyers here with this measured move. So that is working a bit. It's an inside bar, so it was way too risky for me to get involved in. The trouble is, because of me going sideways and because of that break. Now, you could argue we've already had a break there, channel with a break, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. But 1, 2, 3 triple test. Do I want to go long here? Not really. I don't want to trade here. Usually these will fail, so maybe this one isn't. I don't know. There could be something. I mean, we've had sort of leg and a leg. Let's just have a quick look at the daily, see if that gives us a picture of something. Okay, that's really interesting, the daily. Let's just get rid of that muck on there. Now that, we got a big bullish bar there and it's triggered, so we could get a second leg down here. We had something similar here. Well, we had that push through. We didn't stop there, but similar there. We came through it, had a bullish bar, and then it dropped for a second leg. So this could come down for a second leg. We had a really bullish day yesterday, so we could have a bearish day today. So, well, we're going to say perhaps it can come down, and it has done. So that's interesting. So the day is showing me we could have a bearish day today, so let's put that there for now. Channel break, new low, but I'm guessing this will come down for a second leg. I was hoping we could get a breakout pullback, but this thing looks like it may just continue down. It's actually had quite a bit of a push. If we're gonna get something. Hey Jan, how you doing? Jay, how you doing, buddy? Bit early, really. So I don't know if anybody remembers yesterday, I did identify a problem with which I've now had rectified. Thanks to Sebastian. If you noticed yesterday, for some reason, one of my accounts wouldn't work for some reason. I couldn't trade it. So, whereas in Guardian Angel, it stops me from getting into my accounts and changing things. But what I noticed, if I open up a new SIM and then go into the settings on the SIM, I can copy the new settings. Well, there won't be any settings on a new account. I can copy those settings, which are none, over to one of my PA accounts, and that will enable me to trade it. So it was kind of a problem I identified, and I posted it on the Facebook group, and Sebastian very kindly said that there'd been an update. He mentioned it. He found it a month or two ago and contacted Guardian Angel, and they put something in place. Because the trouble is, it's so easy to just go in, open up a SIM account. When you're in the SIM account, you can get straight into Guardian Angel on the SIM, and then when you have a new account, the settings are all at 0. There's no sort of preferences set there. So literally, you can just copy those to go down to the bottoms in settings and copy those to one of your live accounts that is protected, and it will allow you to open it so you can trade it. So not very good to revenge trade. But the new version, which I was unaware we had a new version, has solved that problem. Okay, perfect measured leg. So leg and a leg and then down. It's unfortunate, really, that was a bearish bar. If I'd have looked at the daily and we'd have got a decent bar there, I may have taken that leg and a leg. Perfect measured leg. Let's see where this goes now. But I wouldn't be surprised, based on the daily, we didn't have a big bearish day today, so we kind of keep an eye on that. So right to the tick. Just disconnecting from my NinjaTrader just a second. So let's get rid of that measured leg. Excuse me. Sorry, Exponential. How you doing, buddy? So, yeah, based on that daily, this could be a down day today. The way it's holding down here, it's not in a rush to come back. It's okay. I was just going through the settings of my Guardian Angel trader. So let's see if we confirm this. So I'm going to get an order ready.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
It's all right. So I'm a bit quiet. I was just. Had anybody come across that before? The with the Guardian Angel Trader, that you could open a new SIM account, which takes you a second, go into open new SIM, and then go straight into the Guardian Angel settings and copy the settings for the SIM, which will, there's no restrictions in there. On a new account, you have to set everything and just copy that over to one of your PA accounts that's locked. Apparently, with the update one, you can't do that. You need to enable global settings, and global settings does everything, does it? Because what I usually do is, let's say I have one account, I just copy it to the remainder. But I didn't realise you could just go into new, open a new SIM account, and then obviously copy those settings to one of your locked accounts, and then you could get back in. But I spoke to Sebastian, and he said if I download the latest version, which I hadn't got apparently, it stops you doing that. And actually, if I go into new now, it doesn't give me an option to open a new account. I'm pretty sure it's new, isn't it? If you want a new SIM account, you go into new in your Ninja Trader, and it's not coming up, so it stops me from doing that. But my current SIM is not copied, so I need to do that, really. Because the trouble is, when things go bad, sometimes it's easy just to sort of take a risk. leg and a leg. It's possible second entry short, but I think it's a bit early, really. I'd rather wait for the lower high. Whether you consider that a fail break out the range, I don't. If we'd have had a touch here, I'd have looked at it at a range, but at the moment it's just 2 legs back. I wouldn't consider that a range. So it has pushed, which is interesting. But there's no guarantees it's gonna. We could move out. Whether you consider that a channel or just 2 legs down, it's a bit hard to say. I could adjust this a bit. The trouble is, with this channel coming down now, there's a possibility we could break up to here and we could end up getting a wider channel from this. Now, I'll be surprised if we do, to be fair. It's a bit too wide. But it's just, I'm not quite ready to go short just there, really. I'd rather wait for a lower high. It is a second entry short. It is a relatively small bar, I think, but the ATR is still high and it's a bit congested here, so the lower high will be the better option, but I haven't got one at the moment, unfortunately. I haven't got one on my other chart either. Sometimes if you're patient. Now, although this looks like 2 legs, this to me, it just, I think if you look at it like this could be 1 leg, so we could come down a bit and make another leg up. And sometimes if you get in a bit early, it'll stop you out and then give you 2 clear legs. But this is just, I'm just not comfortable with this. It does look like it's working, but it's above the EMA and it is just a little bit congested there and unclear. You don't know. Let's see if we get a. See if we get a. I'm going to say a failure, but it won't be a failure because we haven't had a break yet. If we can get a bullish bar here, we may get a. No, that's the trouble, really. Sometimes it just doesn't come back. You know, trading these markets a few years ago, they seem to work a bit differently. We quite often got a pullback, but now it just seems to just break and go down. So let me just see if that fits. I've got it as a break. It's all right. A couple of people on Thomas Wade's. Thomas Wade. No, tell a lie. It is. He has got it as a break. It's at that lower high or equal. That one there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a terrible bar. I was just hoping we'd get a. It is nice and tightly tucked under there. I was just hoping we'd get a bit more of an obvious lower high push down and maybe a little pullback. But I wouldn't consider that a range just yet. It is touching in a couple of places, but I'd prefer to touch here really before I'd have traded that as a breakout. The trouble is we could have a leg and a leg before it comes down. That's the trouble. The bigger the channel down, the more substantial the break is. Okay, leg and a leg. Maybe we get a second leg and it comes down some more. I'm just going to extend this. We have made a new low by a tick. But that doesn't necessarily matter. We've got a leg and a leg, channel down, leg and a leg. So I could still trade this. It's almost like a second entry short. That's if it does work. One, two, three, triple test.
Order submitted.
Let's see the risk and see how it works.
Order submitted.
Kind of like a second entry short. Fact, I'm going to put that and let's just leave it where it is. Leg and a leg. Trouble is sometimes you'll bounce a bit higher, but I'm in anyway, sod it, let's just leave it. It is a triple test. I like the way it's sitting there, nicely on that line.
Order filled.
Okay. Time out a straightforward trade for once. Everything's closed. Yes. Yeah, it's still showing there, but it does that sometimes. So, disconnects and then connect. Okay. I'm not a fan of taking these. I don't feel super confident, but there's two things that stand to mind. One, shoulder, head, shoulder. It looks... Now, I don't generally trade patterns, but if you're going to trade patterns, head and shoulders don't look more obvious than that. It's like an absolute perfect symmetrical one. It's also channel down, 2 attempts to go high with a bearish bar. So it's a visual second entry short, 2 legs up. It's also a triple test. So there's 3 reasons to take that, I think. The trouble is, because I don't take a lot of trades, because we don't get a huge amount of trades that I go for, when you see one, you're kind of questioning yourself and you're kind of in disbelief. Now, I very nearly got out there. Now, that looks like it worked perfectly, but when it goes down and it goes slow and it goes sideways and it comes back a bit and it goes slow when you're in the trade, it's kind of a bit nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? But I think you have to get to the point where you've just got to take it. Now, I lost a couple of accounts yesterday. I took a trade. I traded a bit later. And do you remember I said yesterday I found a little bit of a loophole? I opened up one of my accounts and I took a trade and it went against me really quick. And I did what I rarely do now is move my stop and it went against me and it just bloody infuriated me. So I did another account and I ended up losing 2 accounts. So I did a little bit of messaging around to try and find out. The whole idea of having Guardian Angel traded is to stop you doing that. But I found kind of a loophole where if I go into, if I open up a new SIM account, I can go in the SIM account and then copy to that and it effectively opens my accounts. So it just absolutely infuriated me. So I've just got to... So what I'm doing now, 1 loss a day and I am done. I've got 1 evaluation, so I'll trade my accounts now and it's 1 and done on all of them. I had 1 kind of a floating one, but it's just not working. I just don't feel like I'm mentally strong enough just at the moment. I'm better than I was, but I still have that little bit of a weakness when things go wrong. So I'm going to one trade, one losing trade, and that's it. Finito. I'm done. It's just, I still have that little bit of weakness, which just gets to me. But apparently, if you updated, I didn't realise there was an update. Usually, when you get an update for a bit of software, I know with Replicanto, you get an email. Well, I didn't, and I was unaware that there was an update, and I kind of found that little loophole by accident. I couldn't trade one of my accounts for some reason; it wasn't coming up. So I went into my sim, opened my sim, and realised I'm in the settings. So if I just copy those settings, which were all at 0, I copy them to my account that was locked, it enabled me to open the account. So I'm wondering now whether this is maybe a spike in a channel. That is going to lock in that, maybe. Maybe a spike in a channel. If I just take that up to there, would that work? Not really. That's kind of where I had it. Sean, how you doing, mate? No, PAs, mate. 2 PAs. Because I just took a risk. It just infuriates me. So I have it set now. So I can't get into it. I'm okay with it. It happens. I know it happens. But I still have that little bit of weakness. It's nowhere near as strong as it was, but I still have it, and it's kind of the last piece of the puzzle. Multiple trades. I took a trade which went against me, and it just absolutely infuriated me. So I went for 4 contracts, and you know the story. Normally I don't do it, but just now and again, I just have that moment of weakness where I get a bit frustrated. Which is, it's horrible, and it so annoys me. You've done that too. You just, I don't know, something just seems to get the better of you. Maybe, yeah, something just seems to get the better of you. I'm going to put that back where it was. I was just about to do that when you mentioned that. And it's infuriating. I rarely do it now, but it still does happen from time to time. And I was okay. I had my accounts apart from one set to one loss, and I am done for the day. When I say done, I mean if I lose one trade, I can't trade those particular accounts. But I accidentally found a way to unlock them, and that's kind of what you don't want to do. But apparently I did a little bit of fishing around, and the update has solved that problem, because it was very easy just to open a new sim account. But I think, as someone said, global, that tends to lock them all. But the simple answer is, if you're still having that problem, then if you won loss, that way the damage is always minimal. You know, what was I risking there? What was the risk there? ATR's a little high there. So I got in there. The risk is 3.5. I got in on the dot. So the risk is about, let's have a look. Actually, there's a tick there, isn't there? So it's a little bit closer. So yeah, it's about 3.25. So $325. That's the most damage I can do. Now, in a winning trade, it's normally a little bit lower than that. So I tend to think sometimes it's 2.25, 2.5. Sometimes it's 3.25, 3.5. So I tend to have a rough idea of 3 points, and I go for 3 points. So it's kind of a 1-to-1. Maximum contracts in guide. Yes, you can. Yeah, I have mine to 2 contracts, but because I managed to find a way accidentally to unlock the account, that enabled me to do it. Ordinarily, Jan, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I've tried it before with emotions, and it hasn't let me do it. But because I managed to unlock the account, well, you know the ending to that, don't you? which is absolutely infuriating. So yes, you can. In fact, I'll show you quickly, just in case anybody's interested in it. So if I unlock, let's say, a sim, where's the sim? So if I bring this in a sim, so position size, so I can set it to 2 contracts and click enable, so it won't let me. You took the trade after the break and the new extreme, that one there. Well, yes and no. We had a new extreme by a tick, but that to me was 2 legs up in a bearish bar. So you're probably going to have some buyers there. And when it ticked above there and came bearish, 2 attempts to push higher, this to me was coming down, just the bottom. And there's a few reasons as well. One, there's a range there, and it's at the top of the range. And 2, shoulder, head, shoulder, bearish pattern. Went into the range, so range rules. Yeah, that's the way I saw it. So 1, 2, triple test. So it was a little bit riskier, but I liked it. Buy GATS and then hack it. The developers must close back. They have done now, yeah. I was unaware of that. But if you notice now, if you click on your I don't know whether you're a Ninja Trade, if you click on new, you can open a new account. So a new SIM account. And then see this here, I go into the SIM account and I can disable all the settings and then copy it. If I go down here, just click on an account and copy it. So that effectively opens the account, but you can't do that now. If I click on new, so I've got my thing down here. So if I click on new, there's no option to open up another SIM. So effectively, you can't open a SIM and copy there's no, I'm pretty sure it's new, isn't it? It's new. There's usually a button that says open a new SIM account, but it stops you from doing that. But I've done all the mistakes. Yeah. So, I mean, what I like, allowed trading time. So normally I allow my trading times from 2:30 UK time to 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday. Losing trades, I have that set to 1. And I can have a little bit of flexibility. So if I get out for a tick or 2, or minus a tick or 2, you know, let's say I get out for minus, and I get a bit of slippage and I lose a tick, it won't let me trade then. So I put $75 in there, which just gives me that little bit of flexibility. And then I can lock settings. So enable lock settings. So I can't get in and trade it and change it within certain hours. So I set mine from 2:30 till 6 o'clock. Sorry, tell a lie. I basically block the settings and I just allow 1 hour, which is just before the market opens, and I'm at my calmest then. And then you've got ATF rules, so you can allow don't DCA, and then if you go into your settings, you can hide Ninja Script, so it stops you deleting the software as well. You can actually lock all SIM accounts as well. I didn't see that. So you can lock your stop order. So if you bring your stop order in place, you can't move it. And then you just, copy it to other accounts. So it's got some great things. I like that winning timeout. So you can set 10 minutes in between winning trades or losing trades. Losing timeout between losing trades. It's got some great features. Lock SIM accounts in settings. That will stop you from creating new SIM accounts. Oh, is that it? Is it? Quick question, John. How would you normally open a new SIM account? I would go into new. How do you... Is it new or is it tools? New. Normally it would be open new SIM, wouldn't it? So is that the new setting, is it? Lock SIM accounts. It must be. So if I go into, let's try it. So let's go into SIM. Where was that? Was it down the ATF rules or settings? Lock SIM accounts. So you have to open Ninja Trade Administrator. Okay. So look at an account. Right tab. click on empty space and choose new simulator. Okay, so if I click lock sim and shut that down, it shouldn't let me open it back up, should it? So let's have a look, see if it does. Sim, yeah, it does. So it can't be that then. In accounts, right click tab on empty space and choose new. Okay, so how do I lock that then? I just click lock sim accounts, and if I close that down, it shouldn't be able to let me back in, should it? Trouble is, at the moment, I haven't got... if I click global settings, it'll set these ones, and I've got no settings in at the moment. All the settings are blank because it's a sim. So... What I'm going to have to do tomorrow is just... what I'll do is just put the sim accounts onto the same parameters that I have for my... otherwise, I've got to go through all the settings again in the sim. I'm okay today. I've took a trade today, and that's all I'm going to do, to be fair. I'm up $1,900 on my accounts today, so I'm more than happy today. So what I'll do tomorrow is an hour before. So the new software stops you from opening a sim. So if I wanted to open an account now, in accounts, right click on the empty space and choose simulate accounts. Add simulation account. Let's see if it does it. Oh, it hasn't. It won't let me do it, will it? Ah, so that's what you were saying, John, was it? So if I right click and click, normally it would let me do it, wouldn't it? So, okay, let's try this. So if I right click anywhere here and click add simulation account, it won't let me do it. Ah, okay, brilliant. Us and the UK sending missiles at Russia. He might now throw some. Oh, Christ. That's all we want, isn't it? Are we actually getting involved? The trouble is with Putin, you've got to be so careful of him. We know what his capabilities are. Messenger is sending missiles at Russia. Scary, isn't it? I think, to be honest with you, I think we have to keep out of it to a degree. Having said that, we just keep supporting Ukraine. Trouble is, hopefully, he's getting on a bit now, and apparently he's ill, so hopefully he doesn't last much longer. Now, this to me is looking like a bigger channel, and there's a few others got that as well, so... okay, so I like that, so that stops me from doing that. And I haven't got another account. Yeah, brilliant. So all I need to do tomorrow is just to copy a short one contract. Yes, up over 1,700. Good on you. Good on you. So all I need to do tomorrow is just copy my settings to... So global, when you click global, that sends it to all. It saves you having to copy everything individually, done it. I'll try it tomorrow, and then as long as I can't open it, it's fine. So that way, I'll allow myself one loss. That way the damage will be minimum, and if I do take my one loss, I'll just move on to an evaluation. That way my accounts should all stay in relatively good condition. Excellent. Okay. My 3 trades are done. Good for you, mate. Good on you. Good on you. So I suppose you're done, are you? See, that's part of the benefits of being a trader. One, you're not working for anybody else. Two, you set your own hours. So what time do you start how long have you been trading for, Jan? What time did you start? I mean, if you started, well, let's have a look. And I locked my platform too. Good for you, mate. I think that's good to do, that is. If you finish your trading session, the best thing to do is to never go back. I start when I say hi at your stream, right? Yeah, so you're only usually in about an hour, aren't you, I suppose, on average? I mean, that's great, isn't it? I mean, you couldn't even consider that a part-time job, really, could you? An hour? What's that, a 5-hour week? 1 to 2 hours. Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? So realistically, you're working about the equivalent of 1 day a week. If that, some days, yeah, that's what you want. Because you got a youngster, haven't you? So it is nice. It is nice to have that time home with your kids. In fact, do you know what? There was a second entry short there. Didn't even notice that, to be fair. But I'm quite happy not trading at the moment. 2 clear legs back. Let's see how far that went for. So if I was going for 3 points, that would be there. I'd say that's going to work without a doubt by the looks of things. Surely. So 2 lovely little legs back there. I didn't see that. Nice second entry short out for 8 ticks. Yeah, a couple of people. Someone said skipped it because of a doji. I mean, this thing's looking very bearish. Yeah, good point, doji. Having said that, I don't mind a doji that looks like that, because that's 1 tick off about as bearish as it can get. On someone else's chart, that could be a full bearish bar. Thomas Wade took the trade. Based on that, with a bearish day, I'd have a go at that. Because there's a bullish bar here and a higher low there, so I expect it to break below there. And if it comes below there, which I'm sure it will do, because if I took a long there, I'd expect it to get stopped out. So I would say, without a doubt, I would get my 3 points there. But I'm quite happy. If I've taken 1 trade and I'm up $300, I'm happy with that. I don't need any more. And if I can do that twice a week, it's $600, over $2,000 a month. So there's plenty of money there. So 1 tick and that would have worked. There we go. Comfortably. So far today, triple test, head and shoulders, visual second entry short, 2 legs back, that worked nice, 2 legs back and a pull back again, little second entry short there. So that is a nice looking channel. There's 2 nice little trades relatively in quick succession. Yeah, see, someone else's chart, look at that. There you go. Bearish bar. So a tick either way or so would not necessarily stop me. The doji doesn't concern me because on my other chart, it is a doji, but it's 1 tick. Doji doesn't necessarily mean, it just means it opened and closed at the same point. But we still pushed up first. We opened and closed there, but what we did was push right up and then pull back right back down. So 1 tick lower, and that is about as bearish you can get. And it's 2 clear legs up to the EMA, and then went up, touched the EMA, and then came down. So for me, that was coming down. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention, but nobody took. I think a few did on the Discord. I don't know about here. Assuming he took it. Let's have a look. He's 3 for the day. He did. Someone said they skipped it. Thomas Wade took it. Small risk. I don't know if Marco did. Marco took it. Yeah. Horrible doji for me. Second entry out for 8 ticks. A few took it. You took it for the new low. Yeah. To be fair, if you look on the daily is looking like we can have a really bearish day. Well, yeah, look at that. Straight away, we had that laid down. Look how bullish day and then it triggered. Once that starts to come down, straight away you're thinking leg and a leg. It's looking for that stop. And we were up here when I mentioned we could have a bearish day today. And as it starts to come down, and it's fitting so nice. But it's unusual to have a channel like this and have a couple of nice settings in there. I mean, something like that just doesn't seem to happen a lot, does it? Something that clean. Now, that could have been a little better. It could have been slightly higher. If the body was, if that EMA came through there like this, that would be perfect. But it's right at the midline. So 2 legs up to the midline. You can see the midlines working there. And along there. So yeah, I like it. Dean, how you doing, buddy? Guardian Angel set maximum stop is money, so you can't copy from sim to blow your account. Set maximum stop is money, so you can't copy from sim to blow your account. Yeah, so if I open my settings tomorrow now and I copy my settings to sim, to my I've got 2 simulated accounts. If I copy my settings to sim, it won't allow me to do that anyway, will it? And with the new update, it won't let me. So if I bring this down and I right click here and click add simulation account, it won't open one. So it won't let me do it. So yeah, because that was the problem I had yesterday. I found out accidentally. So for some reason, one of my accounts wouldn't allow me to trade for some odd reason. Yeah, you take it easy, Jan. I couldn't open one of my accounts for some reason. It wouldn't let me trade it. So I tried opening up the sim in Guardian Angel, and it allowed me to get into the settings. Once you can get into the settings, obviously the sim, I hadn't set any parameters, so I just copied that to the one account I couldn't trade, and then it allowed me to trade it. So I think the simple answer is just copy. But I think if you allow global, that locks everything, I believe, doesn't it? Also, I set my stop so you can't move it up. Yeah. So if you set your stop, see, I have my so I start with 4 points. Okay, yeah. I was just going to say that. I go with 3 points. Now, if it's a 3.5 point bar, I'm kind of screwed, aren't I? So, yeah. So if you set it to, say, 4 points, it's not often you take more than 4 points. And if you do, it's probably best you freeze it there anyway. It's not often. But, yeah, that way you could bring it towards it but not move it away. Because that is the other thing that it won't stop you doing, really, if you don't use those settings. There's nothing stopping it. It's okay to say I'm allowing 1 loss of a day, but if you move your stop, that can blow your account just as well as anything. So start with 4 point risk, then adjust it down. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. I can get back into my settings between 1 and 2 tomorrow, an hour and a half before, and I'll go everything then, and I'll lock everything. So 1 loss a day, I move then on to an evaluation. That way I can still, because I think it's important to get the chart time. I like to try and get 2.5 hours a day minimum. And then I usually spend 30 minutes in an evening going over it again. I look at Max, I look at Thomas Ways, and I just compare my chart, and then I just go through it. Just quickly 3 or 4 minutes through it and see where there was a trade I could have took. Did that trade work? Why didn't it? And I just spent about 10 minutes just going through it quickly. So just like a kind of a recap. And that, I think it's good to just go through it just quickly at the end of the day and find out what you did. Were you right? Were you wrong? Did you miss anything? But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So set it to 4 points and then just kind of bring it in. Profit stays where it is generally. The only kind of downside, sometimes when you bring it in and come to break even, and then sometimes you want to move it back, you kind of can't do that. So I think the best option is just to kind of leave it where it is. Has been very good for me. Yeah, people say with time you will control your emotions. Yeah. But the thing is, and I was thinking about making a video actually and just having a chat about the difference between trading money and prop firms. Now, the downside to prop firms. Now, I would suggest if any new traders, never ever trade with your own money. Stick on a sim for 12 months and then move on to a prop firm. So prop firms are great, but there is a dark side to prop firms. When you're only paying $30 odd, it's very, very easy to take a risk. Now, if you start with, let's say, for instance, you're an experienced trader and you start with $2,500 of your own money, straight away, you're making money when you win a trade and you've got something to protect. But when you start on a PA account, it costs you $85, which isn't a lot of money. But you start on zero, so you have to make money before you can start to earn it and get paid. And if you're only up $100, $200 from a trade from the previous day and price is going against you a bit, it's very easy to get in there. In fact, I'm going to switch on to a sim now. I'm going to get off my account, shut my accounts down, and just
order submitted.
Trade a sim at the moment.
Order canceled.
I've taken my $300, so I'm quite happy. Going on to a sim, an evaluation. Was I saying it's very easy to take a risk. If you've got nothing, if you've made nothing, effectively you've got nothing to lose by the $85 you paid for it. And it's like anything, the less we risk, the less care we take. Now, in an ideal world, you don't want to be doing that, but with emotions and things like that, you kind of, sometimes you're presented with an opportunity or an easy opportunity to take a risk without risking a lot of money. And therein lies the problem. So it has got a dark side, and it's very easy to just, take a risk. It blows, throw it away, pick up another one, and it's very easy to pick up bad habits. And habits are exactly what they say they are on the tin. It's a habit. It's something that's hard to get out of. And we all know trading can be quite addictive. And if you're getting in, blowing it, moving on, you're doing it again and again, you are building up habits. So I like Guardian Angel Trader, and it's basically like having someone next to you that switches your machine off when the time comes. So I think it aids you to get out of that habit. It's like anything. If you've got a drug habit, if somebody locks you in a room and you can't take a drug, presto, you've solved the problem. So that's kind of like our Guardian Angel work. It stops you from breaking a rule or whatever you set. And it's difficult. It is difficult when you've got to do it yourself, which is why it takes time. Someone said to me, you'll blow them and blow them and blow them until you'll get that sick of doing it, you'll just give up. But I'd rather that came a little bit less expensive. And if you can use a bit of software to help you do it, it's win-win, isn't it? So let's have a look. So I've made my $300 on my accounts. So I'm quite happy with that. I need a bit of a win to sort of pick me up. So I'm not taking another risk. It's like working for a hedge fund. Should they switch you off if you break the rule? Absolutely, yeah. The thing is, you may say, well, it's cheating. Someone said to me once, it's cheating if you can't do it yourself. Well, like you say, if you're a professional trader, see, you could work for one of these top trading firms in the world. You can be a solid trader, but they still have people coming around working with psychology. I mean, let's talk about, a professional tennis player. Pick someone like, Roger Federer. Now, Roger Federer in his time was the best in the world, so why have a coach? Why be guided and coached by someone else when you're the best in the world? It kind of doesn't make sense, because sometimes coaches can see what you don't see. And all sportsmen work with psychologists. So if you're the best in the world, you're number one in the world, why do you have a psychologist to work, with your mind? So it's not cheating in my opinion. You know, I haven't got the luxury of having to pay for a psychologist to sit next to me and help me work through, you know, these mind games. But they all do it. You know, we all know people, some of these people go around these big hedge firms and work with their traders with a psychology because we're human beings. Now, you know, I believe when you get to a level, it'll affect you less. But even Mac has said once or twice, sometimes he has to be careful. It's very easy to take a risk. So I like the fact that it's like having a little psychologist next to you that says, okay, enough's enough now, time to switch off. So I don't think it's cheating at all, whatever it takes as far as I'm concerned. So I'm on to an evaluation now. I've made my $300 out of my accounts. So I'm quite happy. So, boom, boom, boom. Let's see what happens here. I don't want to jump in short here in case this thing, after such a big move down, in fact, I do wonder whether this thing may open up a bit. It's a bit too early, that, I think. So this may be going a little bit sideways. So that's a fair size move down, that is. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's the best part of 80 points, that is. And to be honest with you, the market opened here, so we've dropped 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points in an hour. Now, looking on that daily, I'm not at all surprised. We got a leg down, a pull back, trapping some longs there, thinking maybe this thing's going to push higher. This to me looks like it's going to break that low there, which is below 860, which is in fact it's probably more like 855, that is. Which we're down here somewhere, but I'll be surprised if that continues down there without a break. So maybe we get a leg and a leg. But at the moment, this is shopping like a range to me. So channel break, new high. Let's see what happens here. So
Order
just
submitted.
on one evaluation at the moment. Let's open that up. That's clearly a break to me. We're not going to have a break like that and push straight down. So
Order cancelled.
I also want to try and treat my evaluations with a little bit more respect. I can get just ridiculously silly with them. I know I've been doing this 4 years now, coming up next month, so I need to start. My skill level's okay. I can identify setups. I just need that little bit more mental strength sometimes just to leave that slightly more riskier one. But I need to work on the bits I'm struggling with. Okay, so to be honest with you, with a channel like that, it just never has a small break like that and comes down unless the channel's slightly wider. And usually if it does come down and you adjust the channel, it'll fit. But to me, that is a clear break. So I'd expect maybe a leg and a leg. Now, we could go down a fair amount more. For that second leg, we're about halfway. No, tell a lie. So if we have another leg, we could come down to here. Leg and a leg, somewhere around about here. So we could certainly get down to the 5/800s or lower. So if we have two legs up and then come down, where do we say the 800s? Somewhere around about there. How does that look? In fact, maybe not even that much, but why can I not adjust that? Oh, okay. It's usually the top one I can move, isn't it? So let's just put that there at the top and that there. Couple of legs up. We could certainly get another leg down, no problem whatsoever. That would take us down to the 820s, which is about there. Somewhere and about there, leg and a leg. Very, very easily get down there. So let's see how this works. So do you know something? I think this could get quite bearish. So I'm tempted, if we do get a correction, is to just trade 2 contracts on evaluation and just try and let it run. Because that looks to me like a leg and a leg. I can't see where we've had a break of this larger channel. I mean, we could have had a break, but then it continued to go down, sideways down, sideways down, sideways down. So to me, you widen the channel. So
Order filled.
okay, this is just an evaluation. Hoping we trap a few longs here. Turn off the trend lines and zoom out. It looks like we've had 2 legs down with a correction. You think? This is just an evaluation. Yeah, we have, haven't we? It's just looking at the daily. It looks to me like this thing's coming down. So there's a second entry long, which is kind of why I got in there. Second entry long, which is going to trigger and come down, I believe. And there's our 2 legs. So I'm going to put that there. It's also a failure trapping them that long. So that looks to me like a correction. So I wouldn't be going long right now. After a correction like that. So hello. My gut feeling this is coming down, but we'll soon find out. It's a bit congested as well, to be honest with you.
Stop filled.
Didn't work. We'll do something different. Just test another strategy for the fun of it. We can do. There is a strategy. I've been looking at on and off for a while. Are you on? Did you have something in mind or what? Apologies, did not mean to discuss while you were trading. I didn't even read it, bud. If you turn off, it doesn't matter, mate. To be fair, it's only an evaluation. This, so my gut feeling was we're still in a channel here. So, which is why I was, no, don't worry about that, mate. Don't worry about that. Open up a new chart with 1,000 tick chart. I'll tell you what. Let's bring this one in. Let's bring that one in. It will be fun, all right? I'll take your word for that. And trade it how? What did you have in mind? Let's put this over here a bit like this. Add 3 indicators. Okay, what indicators did you have in mind? Let me just... How do I put this on top? This on top. As soon as I click off it, it's going to be... Okay. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Stochastics. Okay. Indicators. Stochastics. Yes. Stochastics fast, yeah. Add 2. When you say add 2, okay, add that one. And that one as well, yeah. Okay, any particular preferences? 3 and 9 and 14. Okay, so stochastics fast. What am I adding? Press Windows key, Control and T. So Windows, Control and T. I'll have to do that in a minute, I think, won't I? Cheers, Tony. So 3 and 9. 3 and 9 what period? You're on about 3 and 9 there? Is that what you mean? 3 and 9 on the fast, yeah? Yeah. And 3 and 14 on that, yeah? That looking okay? So we'll apply that. So, okay. So, quickly, let's just do what Tony said. So, Windows, Control and T. So, Windows, Control, T. So that should stop that. Is it supposed to have a blue bit on it? Oh, okay. Where's it gone now? Where is it? That one there. Let's try again. So Windows, Control, T. It's got a blue thing on, is it? Oh, okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Both fast. Add another fast. Okay. Okay, what do I do with this one? What do I do with that one? 3 and 14, okay. So apply, okay. Just quickly. I'm just going to short that. Just in case. Because we've had a perfect measured leg and it seems to be holding there. So I'm hoping this is going to go down. It's only an evaluation, so I'm just going to see how it works. Okay, let's get that back. Okay. The blue window is telling you that you have that window set to be. Oh, okay, I got you. Go back to the one in the middle. That one there, yeah, which was the normal one. So that one there, yeah. Okay, what do I do there? That's not the fast one, is it? Yeah. 10, 60, 10, 10, 60, 10. Yeah, so 10, 60, 10. Okay. Apply. Okay. Now what do I do? What am I looking for? On all three, turn them off the K line. Okay, let's go into the settings. So on all three, turn them off the K line. So period K, what do I do there? How do I do that? Change color to transparent. Which color? Which one? One at the bottom. Plots, yeah? Okay, change that to transparent, yeah? Okay. On plots. I'm getting confused now. What am I doing there? Hold on a minute. This is going up in it, this. It's alright, I thought one leg. Let's just see if that comes down. That's fine. What am I doing here? What am I doing on transparent, bud? Expand K, that one. Okay, so transparent, yeah. What do I do now? That's all, okay. Is that what you're looking at, yeah? Change the rest. The other two. Okay, so fast. Change K to transparent, yeah? So that clearly didn't work, did it, what I was doing? Okay.
Stop filled.
Okay, that's done anyway. Okay, well, what do we do now? Let's just change this onto something else. Let's put this onto a sim. Right, move the middle one so it's at the bottom. How do I do that? Can I just drag it or not? No? How do I do that? Here. How do I do it? Drag it on the side. Too fast on the top. Okay, so how do I do this? I think you've got to choose the panel. So if I click that one, you mean? You say what if I go like that? Does that make a difference? It's just because I'm trading now on just an evaluation because of I've got my $300 on my PAs. Someone wanted to have a go at something. I'll just leave it since we are testing. Okay. So what's this strategy then? What do we do? This is a new strategy. Well, it's not something I'm trying, but we're just having a bit of fun. Doing something a bit different. Press F on the middle one. Okay. So, look, what am I looking at? Middle one needs to be below 20. Okay, so on the downtrend, the other two need to be above 80. Let's go short. Okay, so this needs to be above 80. Where's 80? How do I get 80 out? Okay. Right, I got you. So if this is above 80, you go short. Yeah. If this is below the line is, yeah, I've noticed. So let me read that again. So 80 to go short, 20 to go long. Okay. Okay. I'm all for a new thing. We have a bit of fun, something a bit different. If both are above 80 in the middle, below you go short. So if both are above 80, okay, the one is, the one isn't. Yeah. And the middle is 20, you go short. Okay, so if that's 20, which is clearly not at the moment, is it? Isn't it? Okay. Decide if this channel has a break. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Let me just have a look on Thomas Wade's thing, what they're looking at. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade hasn't got it as a break. This just looks like a channel. So I'm just going to drag this out the way a minute so it doesn't disappear. So I'm going to put it as a channel just for now because it's fitting like a channel. But the thing is with this Bramp, we could have a leg up, come down, and then have another leg. So it could be kind of two. So I'm just sitting on this and waiting. So let's have a look. So let's just open this up a bit. So when it's above 80 on the middle and the other two below, you go long. Okay. So we're on a sim here anyway. So let's just go on one contract. What's your stop loss on it? You trade the same one, I'm assuming, do you? And the other way around, the middle is above 20. So what I'm going to do is come back to this after and read all this properly so I can see what you're saying. So at the moment, this is 20, this is 90, this is, well, it changes quick, doesn't it? Risk 1, get 3. Okay, I like that. So let's just trade this. So you risk 1. So how do you work out how much your risk is? So if you were going to set this, how would it work? So what would you set your stop loss to? Or does it have to go behind a certain bar or above a certain, where does it go? Okay, so 3 points there. or on recent low, and you go, what did you say, 1 to 3, so that will be 36, yeah? I'll be about right. Okay, so let's do that and see what happens. Check previous trades on the downtrend. Does this show you what it was based on what we're looking at as well? It does, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, if we get into a trade, just tell me where to put my stop and we'll just see if it works. Okay. See what I'll do. Let's just save this as a template. Let's call it Dean. Strategy. So I've got this to go back at. Setting up to be good for the other way around, to go long. Well, it's in the middle of the 20 and the other two are 80. Okay. But it's nice. It'd be nice to have a strategy where you go for a little bit more now and again. Profitability is high. Good. Only go short when middle is about 20 and the other two are 80. So the faster 80, yeah. Trading is set up. Setting up. Just tell me when to go long or short. Just tell me to buy or sell. It's all right. I've got to read it a few times. Go long on a sim. Okay,
Order
buy.
filled.
Yeah. So where does my stop loss go? Below there, or do I leave it where it is? We're too late, are we? Below the recent low, which would have been there, yeah. So we're too late, are we? Okay. But that's the entry. Okay, so let's leave that where it is. I need to go back and read all this really, but that's the entry. Okay, yeah, it takes a little bit to read, doesn't it? So ordinarily I'd have gotten back here, would I? So it's a little bit a bigger stop there, so we'll just leave that at about a 2 to 1, whatever it is. You're on 2 points profit. Okay. So where would I got in there? You'd have got in somewhere around here, would you? So if you're... Yeah, I'm going to have to go around to catch good trends. See, when you say to profit, okay, so yeah, I'm going to have a read of this. So what would the risk be there? Let's have a look. So, okay, yeah, so you'd have been a bit earlier really, wouldn't you, there? So when they're below 20 and that's above 80, you go long, yeah? Changes so quick, doesn't it? So I can close that then, can't I, anyway? But yeah. So 3:30. Yeah. Passing it really. If you took a long. I'll shut it down now, but what I'm going to do, I've saved that as a template. And I'm going to come. How do I shut it down now? I've saved that as a template. I'll come back to that later this evening and reread these comments. 42. Yeah, okay. I'll look at this stream again later and I'll have a look at that. I would like something else. You still got the scale on the middle one all funky, have I? Tell you what then. So, templates, load, D strategy. Right, so get me set up and then I can come back and have a look later. So what do I do now? 20 traders there. Is a private Discord trading this 20 traders. I'm not. It's but my friend is interesting. Email me. It's better. Okay, yeah, email me and I'll have a look at that later. Cheers, Dean. It's always nice to look at something new. Put it this way, when you set it up, it's pretty straightforward by the sounds things. Yeah, definitely email me, but I appreciate that. It's fixed on the reload. Oh, it's okay. Okay, brilliant. Excellent. On a time or tick chart. 1,000 tick chart, Jay. Yeah, the good thing is, if any of you guys are interested in it, you can watch this back later and set one up yourself and have a look. There's probably hundreds of strategies, isn't it? That one seems relatively straightforward. Well, I say relatively straightforward. You know, something that takes me 5 minutes and I'm more or less figured out what you do. I closed the last trade at 5 points profit. Brilliant. I'll have a look at that later. For definite. I appreciate that, Dean. Thanks, mate. $5 points. That's nice, isn't it? So, this thing looks like it's just taking off in another direction, doesn't it? Look at that later. That'll be interesting. Or if you go from there to there, there's always a possibility that you could hit the top of that, channel down, and then another leg down. It's hard to say at the moment. Might be a bit early. We found out it works better on the 1,000 tick chart because of the small stop loss. Yeah, I'll have a play around with that later, and I'll bring it up again tomorrow on the stream, and we'll see if I'm any closer to some of these things. Just I have kind of realised that I think when you kind of know how price works and you're used to trading, adding something else isn't always as difficult as the strategy you originally start, because we kind of know how to read price. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. So my daughter's off ill at the moment, coughing and spluttering everywhere. That's nice, isn't it? So let me just pick on that again. Touch. I mean, at the moment, not really, but if we come down again, then it may work. But we do seem to be coming at a different angle, so maybe that's losing a little bit of momentum. We're at the top, and now we're feathering away. Buy now on a sim.
Order
Let's buy
filled.
on a evaluation. It's already down, this evaluation anyway, so see if this works. It is 2000 tick chart anyway, this one, but the trouble is with a channel like that, I'd expect a bigger break, but there we go. So you're stopped out, are you? Let's see where this thing goes, a leg and a leg. I don't mind. This thing's down 700 anyway, this evaluation, so not too bothered. In fact,
Target filled.
It's just going to sell
Order
that. This
filled.
thing is at a break. Break, 2 pushes to a new high. Touch, fitting perfectly, and that is at a break. Break, 2 pushes to a new high. So, and fun enough, it did hit there. So I'm gonna just let this run. It is only evaluation, so don't stress anybody. So I'd say this is probably coming down.
Order filled.
Let's put that there. Double width channel. Sell at the buy bar.
Order filled.
Took the account out. Oh no, that's going to come down now, but it's all right. It was a valuation that anyway, so I'm not too bothered. Let's have a look. Okay, I think I'm going to knock it on the head for now, guys. So I'm up nicely on my accounts there anyway, and that was just an evaluation. So my daughter's off ill at the moment, so she keeps coming in coughing and spluttering. So I'm going to go and spend a bit of time with her. So I'll leave you to it, folks. So best of luck today, and I'll be back same time tomorrow, and we'll do it all again. So bye for now.